walk you in here at this blue door right down here, and we'll walk around to the back of the bar. Carson will be there waiting for you. We'll just start rolling on the interview right then and there.
Okay.
So
is it all going to be on these cameras?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yes, there he is. Figured I might need a little help picking out a nice single malt scotch. Word on the street is you might know a little something about that.
Yeah.
I know nothing about scotch. So
Really?
Yeah, when ordering it, if you don't know anything, what?
You got any Speyside malts? Like, you know, Glenfiddich, Glenmorangie?
Glenfiddich, I have Glenmorangie.
Do you do?
Yeah.
Well, Glenmorangie is technically a Highland malt. So, what do you get two Glenmorangies? Slangiva, as they say.
Slangiva.
I think it's just good health.
Okay.
Gaelic.
Cheers.
I used to work for a distillery.
Where did you work in the distillery?
I used to work in right up near Elgin, which is my hometown,
Yeah.
which is near Inverness. There's a whole area called the Speyside.
Great golf, Inverness. That's
Fantastic,
my
yeah.
only connection with
Have
that
you
part
been
of
up there?
Scotland. No, my dad has though, and I'm dying to go there
Right, okay.
to play. Inverness, yeah.
I'm terrible at golf. I'm like one of the only Scotsmen who's terrible at golf.
Your people invented the sport.
It took me moving here to pick up a golf club
Oh, yeah?
for the first time.
But when you were in Scotland, and I'd also heard that you part of your early drive to act was your ability to mimic, and I think it started.
Yeah.
How at what age did that kind of start?
I mean, in Scotland, football is a big.
Yeah.
It's an institution. It's almost as important as whiskey. And my dad loved his football. He was semi-pro. My brother really looked like he was. My brother's 5 years older than me, so I used to look at my brother kind of trailblazing, amazing football player, so talented, great striker.
A lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, and I'm like going, what am I doing, you know? And suddenly I did a play when I was 8 years old, and people started to laugh when I got on stage. Whether they were laughing at me or with me, I don't know. And there was this just feeling of a light kind of went on. That's not the only way I can describe it. Something happened, and that was it. And I just kind of pursued it. And then I kind of hit my teenage years and decided that it wasn't for me. That I wanted to be edgier than that, you know, and to become a musician. I wanted to be a musician, guitarist, singer.
Oh, you did? Have you recorded stuff?
No. We used to have a band.
Because I'll find it.
Couldn't sleep awake last night. Oh, how I'd look to hold you tight.
I mean, I loved you obviously from Train Spotting initially, and from
Right.
Rome, and even Journeyman.
Yeah.
Journeyman was such a big show for us at NBC.
Yeah.
I'm sort of fascinated by when a show doesn't work or doesn't go on. I think it's great that you ended up on Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
And I wondered for actors how that works when a show doesn't go or whatever, how you end up just on another great show.
Yeah, I mean, really, the reality is, what happened with Journeyman was, the strike happened, whatever. It didn't work. It didn't hit. And so me and my wife were going, wow, we've got two kids, we're here in LA, we're paying rent, and it's a very itinerant existence. It's like you're in the circus when you're an actor, and that's the deal. I just got this call out of the blue from Shonda Rhimes, and she just said, look, I want to pitch this idea of a character. I'm looking at a few actors, you're not the only actor, but I'm looking at, but I want to pitch this idea of this
For Dr. Hunt's character?
Yeah, army surgeon. And I really wasn't that keen until she started to tell me about this guy, and the fact that he shows up and then he goes back and he comes back to the show after something terrible happened in Iraq, and I was like, it actually sounds like a really great character, and it sounds like it's breaking the mold slightly.
Nice work, Yang. Open the bag, see the bottle with the blue label, open it, pour it into a sterile basin and give it to O'Malley. Okay, shake it onto the wound right over the bleeders, a lot of it.
What is this stuff?
We use it in the field all the time. It's not FDA approved, but it's saved a lot of lives. When you don't have time to stitch a guy up, you pour some of this on, and it just holds things until you get him to an OR.
Oh, look at that. It's locking up the entire wound. He's stabilizing.
Magical.
I love Dr. Hunt. I mean, I love this character. For a prime time, for a drama,
Right.
His story, how does he practice medicine based on his traumatic past?
I mean, there was an episode we did where my character comes, and it was kind of a controversial episode, but I think they handled it well, where my character says, like, this is the way we train. I'm basically teaching the interns about trauma surgery. I say, this is the way we're taught, and this is the way that trauma surgeons are taught to go into a war situation, which is they take, pigs, live pigs, who are sedated, so they don't feel any pain, and they do terrible things to them. They shoot them, they burn them, and and all this stuff, and it's really controversial, and it's happening now.
Right.
And you know, to try and teach these trauma guys, because the only way you can actually
you have to
apply it-
you have to
Yeah.
simulate this in some way.
And there's been like, you know, Army trauma surgeons going on record and said, if I hadn't taken those classes and worked on those pigs, and everybody knows that the reason that they shouldn't be doing it, but the reality is if I hadn't actually done that and worked on them, I wouldn't have saved those 10 guys. Those 10 people would be dead. So,
Would
so
be
that,
here in the
I like the
States.
idea that he throws that all into the mix there. You know?
Right. But let me just get back to the Scotland thing.
Okay.
What sort of influence was there for you to look at somebody who came maybe out of Scotland?
I mean, Sean Connery obviously is one that you looked at and you thought, you know, this guy's, he was a milkman. You know, he basically
I didn't know
delivered,
that.
he
Where's he
delivered
from?
milk. Edinburgh.
Okay. Have you met him?
Yeah, I met him once. I met him at the Edinburgh Festival. He's actually the patron of the Edinburgh Film Festival. He chooses 2 films each festival to actually go and watch with his wife, and he chose ours. Ours is ours is a film with Lindsay Duncan and a great Down syndrome actress about a family who the mother gets afflicted with cancer. Total tearjerker. The son, who's my character, is completely career-driven, wants to go to America and realizes that he has an epiphany there. Sean Connery leaves the thing, and usually he leaves, he comes in and he says, this is the movie I'm going to watch, and I was told that he leaves after the credits, you know, the lights come down, the credits, and he leaves.
Right.
He stayed through the whole movie, he came up to me, and he was like crying.
No way.
And he just went, tremendous work, tremendous work. I was like, yeah, that's very good.
That's great.
I was pretty pleased with that. We made Sean Connery cry and stayed to the end of the film.
I'm the innocent bystander.
This is the new version of late night television. Thank you for our time, man. I really appreciate you coming down here.
No, it's great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the single malt too.
Now we can really get drunk, right?
I'm down on my luck. Well, I'm down on my luck. All right, send lawyers, guns, and money.